The price points that the world is set in now requires 2 incomes. That's why you're working 2 jobs.
The double income household was one of those changes which went from being an option to an obligation.
So what that means is, yes, you will have to work, because the average family in America is a 2-income household.
40 hours a week makes me $2,000 a month, and my rent is $1,660.
Ooh, what's good? You done clicked on the video, so I'm already knowing you with the vibes. So today, the question is having a dual income an option, or is it an obligation in today's economy? Let's get into it.
The creation of the double income household was one of those changes which went from being an option to an obligation. The principal beneficiaries were government, who had twice as many people to tax, okay? Property owners, because now you needed 2 salaries to buy a house. So the option of running a household on 1 salary basically disappeared. The unit of the household, the family, lost 35 hours of discretionary leisure every week, with no commensurate increase in living standards because the money got soaked up by property prices and by taxation. And that, obviously, what I'm not suggesting is that women remaining at home while men go out to work or anything like that. I'm simply saying that there are many, many things that start as an option and then they become an obligation. They become an imposition. I think that's a really interesting point, which is that what economists are trying to optimize in terms of GDP style and and tax revenue doesn't necessarily translate into an optimal quality of life.
A lot of facts was stated, but I'm not jumping to the conclusion and saying that you cannot survive off of a single income. You absolutely can, but in today's economy, it's not gonna be easy. You will have to have your life set up to be very frugal. Like, you will have to be very strict and disciplined in the life choices that you make. Probably even sacrificing moving into a smaller home, choosing a rural location, and your expenses has to be little to none. And even when it comes to social media, you gotta have thick skin, being able to ignore the influence and trying to keep up with the Joneses.
I have to work 40 hours a week just so I can have a place to live. 40 hours a week makes me $2,000 a month, and my rent is $1,660. So I work 40 hours a week so I can have a 2-bedroom apartment and an extra $300 a month. Like, it doesn't cover my phone, internet, food, So not only do I not have any extra money, but just working makes me so exhausted that I don't have time either. Like, I get off work at 5:30, come home, and I'm just so tired. Anything that I need to do outside of work, I then just push off to like the weekend, and I'm like, I'm just too tired to do this after work. I'll wait until Saturday. So then I end up with so much to do on the weekend that ends up having to be split into 2 days. So I have to do stuff on both Saturday and Sunday. So then I don't get a day off. I don't get a day to relax. I don't get to decompress. So it is really like working 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's tough. Listen, in today's economy, it is not made for the weak. She making $2,000 a month, working 40 hours a week, paying $1,660 in rent, and only walking away with damn near $300, with still having to pay expenses and other bills. How do you even find joy in life when you stretching yourself so thin? And then on top of that, it's messed up because rent and mortgage prices are outpacing minimum wage. These people that's invested into these homes, listen, they want their monies. They don't care. They can care less for your situation.
I'm an independent, strong Black woman. I don't need no man narrative is a scam. Here's why. Society has conditioned us to believe that we don't need anybody, we don't need any support, and we can do it all on our own. What a lot of us has accepted as normal is really not normal. Households were created to be 2 adults and children. The price points that the world is set in now requires 2 incomes. That's why you're working 2 jobs. And if we are not working 2 jobs, we have told ourselves that we have to go back to school, get higher education so we can make more money, which is a necessity. But wouldn't it be better if you had a whole team member helping you along? Because what ends up happening is, yes, love, your career is great. Yes, I am so proud of you for getting your doctorate. I am so proud of you for buying the house. No, I do not believe that women should wait to progress in life until they have a man. That's not what I'm saying. But we are so guarded and we are protecting ourselves so heavily away from every man that we miss on a good man. We automatically assume that all black men are out to get us. And the more you think something, the more you believe something, and the more you see something. So we cut off all men who are not making at least 6 figures. We tell our baby daddies we don't need them because you're not able to pay us substantial child support. So my kids don't need you. And we don't realize that our black men offer so much more than just their financial provision. They offer protection. They offer guidance. They offer leadership. They offer a masculine energy that absolutely depletes you when you have to provide that. You are created to be feminine. You are created to be the nurturer. You were created to be soft and loving. And we are having to play both roles because we are not allowing any man in out of fear that we're going to get the wrong men. And I understand our concern, but the I'm an independent, strong black woman, I don't need no man narrative is keeping us working way later in life than what we're supposed to. It is keeping us away from the black men who want to protect us and keep us safe. It is keeping us away from the black men that would go to the moon and back to make sure that we're happy and healthy, make sure our children are happy and healthy. It is taking away the example of manhood that our sons need and the example of how a man is supposed to love a woman that our daughters need. And it is taking away the opportunity for us to rest. That's why our mother struggled for 60 years and now she is exhausted and she's beat down. We deserve so much more.
So I was paying attention and there was no lies detected. See, this is why I criticize the government for incentivizing welfare policies that promoted for the absentee of the father to be out of the home, destroying the union and promoting independence. There's absolutely beauty in the unity that'll give life so much more fluidity, especially in today's economy.
That early on and you're not already established, she has to help you, bro. Like even in this day, hey, bro, having a 1 income household is tough, bro. I don't know what these women are thinking, bro. Like you want the man to take care of the house, take care of you, go on trips 2-3 times a year, buy you all the stuff, save money and invest with whose money? How you gonna do all that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to no 50-50 conversation. I'm not doing it. And I don't believe in that neither. But I'm saying if I'm a man and I'm taking care of the mortgage, household, can we invest with your money? Can we travel on maybe with your money? Because how we gonna build wealth and take care of a family if it's all on me?
Yeah. The easiest way to get rich today is by the dual income method. If the average black American make like 45K a year, something like that, you get a man, let's say he make 45K a year. Yeah. Y'all immediately at 90. Yeah. You know how life changing that is? You could breathe now. You probably could take more PTO for sure, or take more vacations. We say, you know what? This job didn't stress me the hell out for the past year. I want to take a break from work for 2 months and find a new job. You can't do that when it's just you on 45K, because if you take that break, you're going to be out on the street homeless.
Nah, facts.
So when I be seeing people talk about that, like, man, I need X, Y, and Z, I'll be like, bro, y'all getting finesse. Y'all ain't going to never fuck wealth. Y'all ain't gonna never have financial stability, period. Because the cost of living is just keep going up.
It's too high.
It's way too high for a single person on average income to survive in this economy. That's just like,
I don't know, y'all. I think I don't think we should have voted for women's rights to work. Cause what the hell is this? I don't know. I would've. I mean, I know back then it was a different time, but like, can we re-vote for right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to work. I don't think I was meant to work. I don't think God put me on earth and was like, oh, she's going to work, you know? Because what the hell is this? Who came up with this? All of this, if you really sit and think about it, everything in life could be free. It's free. It's just some man decided, oh, I'm going to put a price on that and make people pay for it. And now we're paying for it and we're not doing anything about it. I think it's time, especially for us women, to get up and do something about it. Okay? I'm not saying be lazy, because I'm not lazy. I would like to work on the things that I want to work on. But like to go into a 9-to-5? Who came up with that bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this?
Okay, so I did a little bit of research, just a little bit of comparing and contrast to the golden ages. Back when man was able to survive off of one income, take care of his family, the household, and allow his woman to stay at home. Well, let me give a little bit of clarity to those times. First off, these people lived a frugal and a modest lifestyle. And in the 1960s and 70s, when women gained their equal rights, a shift in dual income was normalized. Yes, ladies went to work, allowing the extra income to be a source for these families to power up.
Double income households are the cheat code to retiring early, and I'll show you exactly how. So let's say a single income household makes around $80,000 per year. That's around $5,000 take home per month. And after rent, transportation, food, insurance, right, all the extra things, they've got an extra $300 per month to save or invest. Now let's look at the double income household. Let's say one person makes $80,000, the other person makes $60,000 for a combined income of $140,000 per year. They're taking home closer to $9,500 per month. Now they're renting a shared spot together, obviously. They might have 2 cars, so transportation might be a little bit more. Their food might be a little bit more. Insurance, same thing. They can split a lot of these expenses though, some of the extra stuff. Let me go back over to the single income. So they're spending $4,700 per month as a single person. Double income household is spending around $6,500 per month. So they do have more expenses, but they're also making a lot more, which means they can actually save and invest $3,000 per month. So a double income household can save and invest 10 times more than the single income household. And even if a couple does this for 5 years, right, before they actually have kids, they're double income households for 5 years, they'll have around $232,000 invested compared to the single income household, which would have essentially 10 times less, $23,200 after just 5 years. And then when you expand this to, you know, decades later, this is just going to, you're going to set yourself up for the rest of your life, essentially. I guess the point of this video is to go find someone who values financial independence and retiring early as much as you do, and you guys will be in a phenomenal position to enjoy your life throughout your career.
Okay, so here we have a blueprint. And I know that this isn't suffice for everyone's situation because the math may differ from yours, but we have a solid foundation that we can follow. And as a couple, as a unit, if y'all can hold each other accountable and be disciplined to the principle, I don't see why you wouldn't be, or why y'all wouldn't be on the road to success.
I'm big on reality, so let's talk some reality. Again, I'm only concerned and I'm doing this because women that I love dearly in my life, they're 50 plus, single, and miserable. The majority of men in this world, in America, make under $80,000. So that means the average man in America is an average earner. So the reality is you might meet a man, or you're going to meet a man that's an average earner. So what that means is, yes, you will have to work, because the average family in America is a 2-income household. You get together, build wealth, have beautiful children, and both retire. That's how the life works. As a finance bro who only works with multi-millionaires, right? So I go through their accounts, I speak to these clients. Their wife works. Sometimes, yes, she's a super earner, right, and does very well. Or sometimes, yes, she's a school teacher and she has a passion for working with kids and things happen, but the wife works as well. As I'm on TikTok more, I've seen this false reality being painted out here that there's this rich guy that's going to come in and save you and you're only looking for this. That's not what's going on in America for real. 2-income households, we will be a millionaire someday. It's not in your 20s, right? It's not in your early 30s. You come together, you build, most importantly, you build a family, the finances will come. All right, that's the reality.
He said he worked with multimillionaires and their wives work. So is it safe to say that the high class is in the same situation as the middle class, just at different price points?
Not saying that this is mine, but there's conspiracies out there that part of the reason why they had like they wanted women to work is so they could double the income base. So the government freaking artificially forces inflation so that we can't afford things anymore. You can't live off of a single income household. I talked to my wife about this. Like, we're doing fine, but man, I see the prices of groceries. I'm like, holy how does somebody, you cannot live off a single income anymore. You just can't. Too many bills, the price of things now. You need to have a dual income household. And what does that do? It doubles the wage income base. So now the IRS, now the government's collecting twice as much money as they normally would back before, let's say, 1980, when the guy could work at Jewel and you could have a 2-car garage and a couple vacations a year on a grocery store manager income.
So I make $80,000 a year, right? Guess what I gotta go do? Get another fucking job. Man, bro. Like, I don't know how we living right now. I really don't. I make $28 an hour. Now I'm about to go get another job at Amazon making $19.50. You know what I'm saying? Right when I get off my other job. Yeah. It's hell out here, bro.
It is not hard for me to put myself in this man's shoes. But I got a question. As a single person working 2 jobs, does that still qualify as a dual income? If you agree, hit the subscribe button. If you disagree, hit the like button. And if you are subscribed, man, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, all that good stuff, man. Y'all get in the comments, man. Hit that notification bell and hit that hype me up button. And until next time, I'll